Attention passionate Chicago, Bears fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Chicago Bears' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Chicago Bears fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Chicago Bears fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been paying close attention to the NFL offseason, you know that the landscape is constantly shifting, and one of the most intriguing moves that's been discussed lately involves the Chicago Bears and a certain rising star on the defensive line. That star is Kayvon Thibodeaux, and yes, you heard right. He might be heading to the Windy City. This isn't just rumor. It's a strategic move that could reshape the Bears' defense and their entire approach to competing in the NFC North. But before we dive into the details of why this could happen, let's set the stage a little bit. The Bears, as you know, have been rebuilding, plugging in new pieces, trying to find that perfect mix of youth and experience to push them back into playoff contention. They've made some aggressive moves this offseason, especially on the defensive front, but adding a player like Thibodeaux could be the final piece to elevate this unit to elite status. So, why is this trade being seriously considered now? Well, the New York Giants, who drafted Thibodeaux 5th overall in 2022, are in a bit of a different spot. They've got him under contract for 2 more years, and while he's shown flashes of brilliance, he hasn't yet become the dominant force many expected when he was coming out of Oregon. In 2024, he managed to rack up 5 sacks in 12 games, which is decent but not quite at the level you'd expect from a player with his draft pedigree. The Giants, on the other hand, are in a position where they're not quite ready to go all in for a deep playoff push this season. They're still building, still trying to find consistency, and perhaps it's time to maximize the value of their assets. That's where the trade comes into play. Now, the Giants could look to keep Thibodeaux, along with Brian Burns and Abdul Carter, but smart teams understand that sometimes the best move is to cash in on a player who might not be seeing enough snaps or isn't yet reaching his full potential. And with 2 years left on his contract, the Giants could potentially get a 3rd or 2nd round pick in return, assets that could help them accelerate their rebuilding process. And here's where the Chicago Bears come into focus. Why would they be the perfect fit? Well, for starters, the Bears have been making some serious moves to bolster their defensive line during this offseason. The addition of veteran defensive tackle Grady Jarrett was a big step, bringing leadership and interior disruption. Alongside him, Gervon Dexter and Andrew Billings have been developing nicely, providing depth and promising potential. But what they really need is an elite pass rusher, someone who can consistently threaten quarterbacks and change the dynamic of the entire defense. That's where Kayvon Thibodeaux could come in. Thibodeaux, drafted 5th overall by the Giants in 2022, has all the physical tools to be a game-changer. He's got the size, speed, and athleticism to be a nightmare for offensive linemen. He's shown glimpses of that brilliance, but the key now is consistency. And if he joins the Bears, under the guidance of defensive coordinator Dennis Allen, he could develop into that franchise cornerstone they're eager to find. Last season, Thibodeaux recorded 5 sacks, which, while respectable, doesn't quite match his high draft status. Still, the potential is undeniable, and with the right environment, he could unlock that next level. The Bears, you see, are in a critical phase. They're trying to establish a defense capable of competing with the best in the league, especially considering the talented offenses in their division. NFC North isn't messing around. Detroit, Minnesota, and even Green Bay have all invested heavily in their defenses and pass rushers. Detroit's Aiden Hutchinson, DJ Reader, and Tyleik Williams form a formidable front, and the Vikings have Jonathan Greenard and Dallas Turner anchoring their line. If the Bears want to keep pace, they need to pressure quarterbacks consistently, disrupt timing, and create turnovers. A player like Thibodeaux, with his raw talent and upside, could be the missing piece. And let's not forget, adding a top-tier edge rusher like him would give the Bears a huge advantage in the division. He'd not only strengthen their pass rush, but also serve as a counter to the threats posed by their rivals' pass protection schemes. The NFC North is a division that's becoming more competitive each year, and the Bears recognize that to take a leap forward, they need to be aggressive, strategic, and willing to make bold moves. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, well, what about the price? And that's a fair question. But from what insiders are suggesting, the Giants are open to trading Thibodeaux for a package that includes a second or third-round pick, which is a reasonable investment considering his potential. For the Bears, acquiring him would mean paying a relatively modest price for a player who could become a franchise face on defense. It's a gamble, sure, but one that's worth taking if it pans out. This move also fits into the broader picture of the Bears' offseason philosophy. They're all in on building a competitive team around their young core, especially on defense. The addition of Thibodeaux would send a clear message to the division. The Bears are not just here to compete, they're here to dominate. It signals their commitment to creating a relentless pass rush, one that can harass even the most seasoned quarterbacks in the league, and that's exactly what they need to take the next step toward playoff success. And let's talk about the fans for a moment. Chicago has always been a city with a deep passion for football, and the Bears' defense has historically been a source of pride. Think of the Monsters of the Midway, that legendary identity that once defined this franchise. Bringing in a player like Thibodeaux could be the start of a new chapter, one where the Bears reclaim their defensive dominance and make a serious push for the Super Bowl again. For fans, this potential trade is exciting because it shows that the front office is willing to be aggressive, to go after the best talent available, and to do whatever it takes to put a winning team on the field. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL. There are always risks involved when trading draft capital for a player who's still developing, but the upside is enormous. Thibodeaux has the talent and the physical tools to be a game-wrecker, and if the Bears can unlock that potential, they'll be in a much better position to challenge their division rivals and make a deep playoff run. Remember, this isn't just about one player. It's about the message it sends across the league, that the Bears are back, and they mean business. As we look ahead to the upcoming season, everything seems to be aligning for a significant breakthrough. The roster is shaping up nicely, with key additions and promising young players. The coaching staff, led by head coach Matt Eberflus, is focused on creating a cohesive, aggressive defense that can impose its will on opponents. And with a player like Thibodeaux potentially joining the fold, the pressure on opposing quarterbacks in the NFC North will increase exponentially. It's an exciting time for Bears fans because it signals that the franchise is thinking big, aiming high, and willing to make bold moves to get back to the top. Now I know some of you are probably eager to hear my final thoughts. Honestly, this trade could be a game changer if it happens. It's a strategic move that aligns with the Bears' goals of building a top-tier defense. Thibodeaux' upside is huge, and if he finds the right environment, he could become a cornerstone for years to come. The NFC North's defenses are stacked, and the Bears need to respond in kind. This potential acquisition is a step toward that, and I, for one, can't wait to see how it unfolds. The offseason is always full of surprises, and this one could be the start of something special for Chicago. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Chicago Bears news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Chicago Bears fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this possible move? Do you think Kayvon Thibodeaux would be the perfect addition to this young, talented defense? Or do you believe the Bears should focus on other areas in the draft or free agency? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Bears as a franchise. Remember, this is a passionate community, and we love to get your insights and predictions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more analysis, and more news about the Chicago Bears. So stay tuned, stay hyped, and let's keep supporting this team as they aim for greatness once again. Thanks for watching, and as always, bear down.